Tension rises as Fubara returns to office in 6-day time. What would you have to say about this?
Yeah, that's one of the many sins and the irregularities committed by Tinubu administration under APC platform. A democratically elected executive governor of any state, of any institution, of any country in the world is irremovable, because that is the choice of people, because that is what is called enfranchisement, enfranchisement, civil rights, civility of each and every citizen of any country is to make choice by becoming one of the electorates during any election to put any sitting or presiding governor. Fubara was elected. Yes, it was Wike that rigged election, rigged out Labour Party gubernatorial candidate of Rivers State that brought in Fubara. But what happened later surprised humanity. The entire Nigerians were so shocked, when Fubara was given list by his so-called godfather, Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State. The list he brought forward to Governor Fubara could not augur well between the two. There was much argument bordering on how much Fubara should be submitting to Wike every month. He comes forward with various commissioners, various ministers, various government functionaries within that state of Rivers. And it does not augur well because the amount tabled before Fubara by his godfather Nyesom Wike was too much, that it could even read budget of 2 states, which was why there was an argument, there was a misunderstanding between Nyesom Wike and Fubara. And that was why everything about Fubara government in Rivers State become bitter and sour. What happened next? There was too much war, much struggle, much controversy between the two. Nyesom Wike carried the day. Why? He was made the governor of FCT. Though we know that FCT is not a state, but due to the fact that Obi won, beat APC hands down, presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they violated the law, Nigerian constitution, that says that FCT, if you win more than 25%, you have carried the day. Obi won 68%. They alter what has been embedded on Nigerian constitution and made FCT one of the federal states in Nigeria. It isn't among one of the federative states in Nigeria, but just ordinary federal capital territory. But they made it a state so that they will fault Nigerian constitution, so that Tinubu will take over the mantle of leadership. Obi scored 68. Nyesom Wike supported Tinubu. He became governor of FCT. If you ask me, Abuja is now a state. Abuja is no longer federal capital state. So that's why he rigged election for Fubara, and due to federal support given to him by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Fubara was removed by Tinubu. It has never happened in any democratic setup in the world. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. So this time around, just 6 days to his return back to the office of the executive of government of Rivers State. Just 6 more days. What has never happened before in Nigeria, even outside the country, even in Western Europe, has taken place in Nigeria. That is a big surprise. That has actually proven that the African nations, the African states, countries are not ripe enough to run a country of theirs. That's why I'm of the opinion that what the Bola, Pieter Botha, the former leader of apartheid policy of South Africa, said that if you give black man the opportunity to manage democracy, they will turn democracy into ethnic bigotry. And that is what is taking place in Nigeria currently. It is taking place over there in Burkina Faso and Niger. But the military, the young officers, military clique in Niger Republic and Burkina Faso are not taking it taking it soft, with the government, the democratic, dispensation over there. I mean Burkina Faso and Niger. That's why they actually stage coup. And what is going on today in Burkina Faso is what the whole Africa leaders are trying to emulate. Because the young man, 36-year-old Ibrahim Traore, has changed, transformed the society over there, and is working very hard to make sure that the Burkinabés, the citizens of that country, they are enjoying every social infrastructural amenities, every social infrastructure, every infrastructural, employment, everything in that state are going on well. Look at the agricultural sector. Ibrahim Traore has actually transformed Burkina Faso into modern agricultural, irrigation, mechanized farming in Burkina Faso. And Burkina Faso has taken over from the whole Sahel country as #1 economy today, currently in West African states. It's a good job done by a young military officer. Then look at what is going on in Niger. Niger has been transformed by the junta over there that toppled government of I don't know the name, or Campore, or whatever the man called himself. But all I know is that the head of state, their military head of state, is doing well in Niger. So come what may in Nigeria, Tinubu has actually violated Nigerian constitution, and he has gotten scot-free. Nobody is actually coming out to nail him using the Department of Judiciary, which is the common hope of common man in Nigeria. He actually removed Fubara'S, which is never tenable in any democratic dispensation. He did it, and he has gone scot-free. Why? In Nigeria here, we don't have anything like democracy. What we have in Nigeria is nepotocracy. What we have in Nigeria is favoritism. What we have in Nigeria is kind of democracy that has been mopped off and replaced by ethnic bigotry, tribalism, and let me say nepotism. So what we have now on ground as the current news is that it remains barely a week for Fubara'S to go back to River State, office of executive. So Ibas, a former naval officer that took over from a democratically elected governor, is about to pack all his load. Off he goes with all the funds he has stolen, he siphoned in connection, let me say, in conjunction or in collaboration with federal might. So they know how much they have made so far since they actually unsat Fubara'S. Ibas is about going. Here we go with all the costs, with all the fund. Here we go with the money that he actually secretly siphoned from River State government scoffers. It is no news to us. He actually had deal with the government of the day, and that's why they impose him there on the Fubara'S. And the Fubara'S, they don't have anything to do. They don't have anything to say, because the federal, they have the police, they have the soldiers, they have the armed men. Nobody could say a word, and they actually toppled and they plan coup d'etat against River State democracy. Nobody could say a word. Why? They have the soldier, they have the police, they have the customs, they have the prison, all the paramilitaries, they are with federal government of Nigeria. Never again in the history of the democracy of this country could such a thing happen, and nobody is going to say anything. Look at what is going on today in Nepal, Tibet, in Asia, where the whole citizens have come out with all they could lay their hands upon. Anyway, none of them carries gun, but they move en masse into the state house, sacking the governors, sacking the ministers, sacking the prime minister himself. Was actually rescued with helicopter. When they throw rope to him, he has to hold the rope and climb the rope. From the rope, he got into the helicopter craft that actually absconded him away from the presidential villa. It is on course in Napa, Tibet. Now, then what about France? What is going on in France is a nationwide protest against Macron government. They know what they are protesting there, because I know that Macron is not living up to expectation. If he's living up to expectation in France, there wouldn't have been this nationwide protest that has been coming on and on and on. They protested last year, they protested 2 years ago in France, and currently it's going on in Leeds, in all those prominent districts in France, they are protesting currently. Why? France has turned their back on all her colonies in West Africa and Africa at large, you know, making them of their natural resources and giving them only meager amounts. Look at what's happened in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso actually sacked France, sacked all the expatriates, I mean foreign companies in Burkina Faso. They sacked them too in Niger, they sacked them too in Gabon, even Cameroon. They are preparing to do so, and other West African states governed by France in the past. Fubara is back.
Thank you.